negative stereotypes on Hispanics, a growing prison population, and my continual petition to box Mr. Mark Belling, coming up next on Focus on Diversity, right here, right now.
Focus on Diversity with Troy Shaw.
Hello, I'm Troy Shaw, and welcome to the Focus on Diversity program. Let's welcome our guest. We have Robert Miranda. He is the editor of the Milwaukee Spanish Journal. And we also have Christopher Carter. He is the president and CEO of CCI. And our wildcard guest, a little explanation of what our wildcard guest is. Future Focus on Diversity television programs will have people just like you, perhaps maybe a star, perhaps maybe someone who is very interested in what's going on in the community on our television program as our wild card. This week's wildcard guest is Michael Maxwell Esquire. He is a local attorney right here in southeastern Wisconsin. Gentlemen, let's start with our very first topic. Debates going public. For generations, African Americans have bickered over what's wrong with Black America. But mostly they've done it in places that other ethnic groups weren't listening. Around the dinner tables, within lecture halls, at Black universities, in areas that just were solely with African Americans. So what is shocking, what happened last year, S.A. John Riley wrote an article for Esquire magazine voicing what he thought was wrong with the Black community and was highly criticized by the Black community for doing so. Gentlemen, this is something very, very similar to what Bill Cosby did just recently as well. The African American community seems like they do not like to have their dirty laundry out there. What do you think about that, Robert?
Well, I think that debate is always good. And when someone in the family decides to bring discussion out into the public, obviously the family is alerted and concerned about that. Sometimes it depends on the context of what is being said. Was it to be constructive or was it to be critical? In this situation, we have a critical analysis, which some people, like Bill Cosby's discussions on the Black community, has caused people to stir a little. Well, sometimes we need that. I do it in the Latino community all the time.
Well, yeah, my point, and his name is John Ridley. My apologies in regards to that. We're talking about the kind of like the goings-ons of what happens in the African American community. Sometimes you just want to keep that stuff private. Michael, I mean, as a I don't know if you're a family man here, and you have things that you just don't want to be said in public's eye. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think it's accurate to characterize the Black community in the same context of a nuclear family. Mm-hmm. I think it's very, very different. I mean, the Black community does not operate in a bubble. There's not a Black police force, a Black school system, a Black government that is solely focused on that community. So what happens in that community, just like what happens in any community, affects all of the neighboring communities and ethnic groups. And I think that if what's been working in the Black community and everything was going well, there would be no criticism. Now, no interest group likes to be criticized. Exactly. That's for sure.
And that's my point. In essence, the African American community, when it is criticized or when they put their dirty laundry out there, it seems to be that they get more criticized than other ethnic groups. Chris, what's your take?
And they get criticized from inside more than any other ethnic group. They internalize it more from just what I've seen. And I actually attended one of Bill Cosby's speech here in Milwaukee when he was there a year or so ago.
I thought he was very, very critical. I thought he was sincerely critical. I thought that, yes, I had that feeling that, Bill, what are you saying? You're giving fodder to a white press that's going to do nothing more than just tear down the African American community. What's wrong with you?
Yes and no. He also brought out issues that are happening within the African American population. And after he left, the debate continued to rage on within the groups. I'm a white American male. I don't know certain things that happen within certain areas and certain organizations in regards to certain ethnic groups, because I live out in Hales Corners. I'm not in the inner city, but yet I see when I work with my employees or with other individuals, what their debate is. They've got different issues than what I have and what some of the other people that I associate with on a day-to-day basis. So we have our, I like to say, coffee clutch, where we get around our kitchen table and we air our dirty laundry to each other. Yes, that comes out at times within the scope of the white America, but yet everybody has got to come to the table and start to understand, we do have these different areas. We got to grow from each other. You got to understand and keep moving forward.
Okay, let's move on to our next topic. Party under protest. The South of the Border theme party has caused outrage in California universities after students showed up dressed as Hispanic janitors, gardeners, gangbangers, and pregnant teens. I mean, Robert, of course I gotta go to you with this one here. I mean, it's insulting. It's insulting to the Hispanic community for anyone. I mean, it's almost tantamount to coming to a party in blackface. What do you think?
Well, the way things are going culturally in the commercial market, there's no respect. There's no respect for traditions. There's no respect for heritage. There's no respect for your own people. You got music being marketed out there that degrade women, that degrade the races. But
they were only having fun, Robert.
Oh, well, and you're having fun on the dance floor too. But does it make it right? Does it make it right where you can get out there and just basically dehumanize a lot of the important aspects of culture, a lot of the important aspects of one's heritage? Go ahead and do a lot of that kind of nonsense with the Jewish community and see how much fun they're going to have with the Jewish community.
Gentlemen, we got to wrap this one up relatively. Actually, we actually wrap it up right now, but I would love to get the lawyer's opinion on it when we come back. And when we come back, we'll have more heat. Stay with Focus on Diversity. We'll be right back.